Shalom, Kal Halal, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Bahashem Kodash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers that push in word and truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, to the Aquat that are listening and learning, being a pillar of rest, 144,001 the hopeful elect of Israel, and the brother Yashuan, back with the WW3 Daily Update. Shalom and salutations to you as well. We're going to start right here at Joel 2 and 20. This is talking about being right here in Babylon the Great, which is also known as America. Our troops are going to be sent away, right, to the Middle East, what they call the Middle East, right? And what's going to happen here as a result of that? Well, this is the land of unwalled villages, far away fighting somebody else. How are we going to protect ourselves? We're not, all right? Joel 2 and 20 in the King James, it says, "But I will remove far off from you the northern army," as in North America, "and will drive him into a land barren," as the Middle East, "and desolate, with his face towards the East Sea," which is the Red Sea, I believe. Right here it says dead, but I gotta check. Don't hold me to this, because the elder apostle breaks it down all the time. I believe it's the Red Sea, and his hinder part towards the utmost sea, which is the Mediterranean, I believe. Okay, Mediterranean. Okay, I think this is the Red Sea, not the Dead Sea. But that's another lesson. All right, basically it's saying the Middle East, what they call the Middle East, which is it's called West Asia. All right, so I'm gonna read it again. "But I will remove far off from you the northern army," talk about the American army, "and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face towards the East Sea, and his hinder part towards the utmost sea, and his stink shall come up, and his savor shall come up, because he hath done great." Then let's read that in the NLT. "I will drive away these armies from the North America. I will send them into the parched wastelands. Those in front will be driven into the Dead Sea, and those in the rear shall be rear into the Mediterranean. The stench of their rotting bodies will rise over the land. Surely the Lord has done great things." So let's see if we can see the Northern Army being driven into the Middle East, or at least in that direction. Okay. Let's check in with Nate, who's he's over it, right? He's scared now because he sees it. Okay. Alert: Canada sending troops to Ukraine. That's the Northern Army, North America. Secretary Austin: Russia-NATO war coming, right? It's called World War III. Russia is the top man in World War III. Leaked four-part plan. Okay, Canadian Prepper 4 hours ago. So this is cutting news. This is breaking news, if you will. Take it away, Nate. Nate is scared. He can tell you.
Okay, this is your World War III update. I was not going to make a...
This is your what? It's a World War III update, but this is the daily update where we go into the scriptures and we filter everything that's going on. We just showed you. Listen to what Nate says about why these troops are being sent away. Because this is in the scripture we just read.
Okay, this is your World War III update. I was not going to make a video tonight. It's late, but this is important. They're going to do it, okay? They're actually going to do it. I'm in complete disbelief and shock, even though I knew this was coming for many, many months, and we've been talking about it for probably 3 or 4 months, and they're actually going to do it. And now I have all the motivation I need to finalize some decisions that I've been on the fence about, and to make some big strategic moves, because holy shit. Here we go. Under the right conditions, Canada is open to sending non-combat troops to Ukraine, according to Defense Minister Bill Blair. The same guy with a permanent frown on his face. I don't even know how it's physically possible to have such a arched frown on your face. Like, you got to go and just Google the guy, okay? You'll know what I'm talking about. Anyways, this is the same guy that wants to take all our guns away. This is the same guy who wants to take all our media rights away. And now, right around the time that both of those things are about to happen, they're about to send non-combat troops to Ukraine. Okay? They
see thousands on the new rip.
Slovakia. I'm going to have to back that up because it all goes together. We'll back it up just a little because when he says what he says next, context is everything. Back it up right there.
Wants to take all our media rights away. And now, right around the time that both of those things are about to happen,
right around the time where the powder keg is about to blow up right here with all of these immigrants and no lawlessness going on, then they're going to send away the troops. Listen to what he said.
They're about to send non-combat troops to Ukraine. Okay? Think about that for a second. Isn't that convenient timing, guys? When the martial law crackdown comes and they send everybody off to war because the shit's going to hit the fan, that's when we're going to have no voice to talk about any of this stuff. That is when all of our abilities and freedoms are going to be put in a stranglehold. And this is when they're going to start shipping us off to war. When they say non-combat troops, they're talking about a tripwire. They're talking about mission creep. This is an insidious, incremental march towards a direct war with the Russians. And this is not only Canada. This is all of those other countries, with the exception of the 5 who stood up and said no, because it made PR sense to do so, but they will follow in suit. When Macron brought this up at the Parents' Conference on Monday, there was about 20 countries who remained eerily quiet with respect to whether or not they were going to commit troops into Ukraine. Of course, non-combatant ones. There's no such thing as a non-combatant troop when you are funding, providing weapons, and providing ISR for one side. Now, if this was the Red Cross and they were helping, okay, fine, that's a peacekeeping force. This is not a peacekeeping force. And I mean, if you believe it is, you are incredibly naive. Vladimir Putin doesn't believe it is. In his 2.5-hour long monologue that he gave today, it was basically all about, we got nuclear weapons and we're ready to use them because for Russia, this is life or death. And we want to go in there and provide non-combat support to demine and peacekeep and blah, 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 blah bullshit. It is all, there's something in Ukraine, there's something about that country that the West is simply relentless about. Whether it's our own monetary existence that is at stake or something far worse that we're not aware of. But something is going on in that country and they don't want Russia to take it. Now, Lloyd Austin came out today and he said, if Ukraine falls, I think NATO will go toe-to-toe with Russia, he said. If Ukraine falls, I really think NATO will go toe-to-toe with Russia. So either you fork over the money or we're going to war with Russia. Think about that. We're going to war with, he realizes that that means a nuclear incident. Whether it's isolated or not, that means a nuclear incident. Vladimir Putin vehemently emphasized this point today, that if NATO joins the war, they're going to let them rip. They're going to let them rip. And oddly enough, U.S. Strategic Commander Anthony Cotton said that Russia today has the largest and most diverse arsenal of nuclear weapons of any country in the world. So you would think, knowing what was going on since 2014, that they would have prepared for this eventuality. But no. But that doesn't stop Estonian Prime Minister Kallas, who happens to be on the Russian wanted list of all things, is not afraid of Russia and thinks sending NATO ground troops to Ukraine ought to be under consideration. Well, of course she's going to say that, because even if she was a civilian, she wouldn't be conscripted to go and fight the war. Unless she was in Ukraine, where it's democracy and it's equality for all, or sorry, it's equality under totalitarian rules, so even the women get to go and fight against their will. So yeah, and it's not only them that are saying they want to send troops, it's all of those other countries. Okay, European officials says everyone knows that there are Western special forces operating in Ukraine, and they have been for some time. In fact, Olaf Scholz says that British soldiers in Ukraine have been helping fire missiles. German Chancellor was criticized for flagrant abuse of intelligence that could endanger UK personnel on the ground. So they're mad at him because he let one rip. Or let one slip, I should say. Gertrude van der Leyen, president of the EU, said that I am proud to announce that we will set up an Office of Defense Innovation in Kiev. Who do you think is going to be in this office? Is it just going to be some guys with a clipboard, some like corporate, suit-wearing types? Of course not. It's going to be either retired military personnel. They're going to say that. It doesn't even matter.
American forward observers.
Because we don't know who's in there. It's going to be mercenaries. It's going to be somebody who has military experience, who's in the know, who's in the loop. This will bring Ukraine ever closer to Europe and will enable all EU countries to draw on Ukraine's battlefield experience and expertise in defense innovation.
We'll cut it right there. As you can see, this war, it's over. Here's what's going on. Ukraine lost the war. Now they're like this. Okay, we lost. We're gonna throw some fucking money on this fire and see if we can get it to spark back up. That's what we're watching. All right, so let me see. Is there anything else on here? Let me see. Let me read this. 2 and 20. Restoration says. Okay, yeah. Far off. Let's see, afraid of the beasts of the field. Oh, that's good enough. All right. Because this thing is not going to be deterred. This is the Most High. All right. I'm gonna just read this. Joel 3 and 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Right? World War III. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up to what? The valley of Yehoshaphat, the Middle East. Right? Oh, well, that's in Eastern Europe. Who is the main player in World War III? Who's the main player in World War III? The land of Magog. That would be Russia. Okay. First. Russia first. Persia, Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya. With them, Turkey, Syria, and many people with it. China, North Korea, right? They're all going to war. All right? Russia is leading the charge. Right? Ezekiel 38 and 7. Be thou prepared. Who's thou? Russia. And prepare for thyself, Russia, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee. Russia first, and then everybody that is assembled, all these other people are assembled, and Russia's going to guard them. Russia's the top dog. Russia's running. World War III is this: Russia against the United States. And then the proxies that fall under both camps. And that's what it is. All right? So when you see, didn't they just say NATO? going to war with Russia. What does this say? Secretary Austin says, Russia-NATO war coming. Who is NATO? It's the United States. Who's giving Ukraine money? United States is. And if the United States don't give them money, who are they going to give? They're going to give troops. Who's got the troops? Who's got the army? Supposedly, allegedly. Babylon the Great. So that we can see this thing coming right out of the scriptures. All right? Russia against NATO. That's like, is Russia fighting against the Ukraine over there? No. He just said it. What did he just say? Well, the Brits, they gave up the information. Oops. It's clear. Ukraine doesn't have any more soldiers. Okay, we'll put it that way. And we just read how the Northern Army is going to be taken out of North America and sent over there. What does that say? They probably ain't going to get no more money, but they're going to get troops because this war ain't going to stop. It's called World War III. It ain't going nowhere. So anyway, we'll end it right there. As you can see, look at Nate. Nate is scared. Look at him. Nate's scared. And he should be because he don't understand what's going on. So with that, we hope that the elect will edify you, brothers and sisters. Shalom.